Beyond things being difficult to start, it's even harder to finish them. In my last episode, I spoke about how to start things. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how to finish them, and I'm the worst person in the world to talk about this, because I finish nothing. But that, conversely, also makes me the best person in the world to talk about it. So let's talk about finishing things. My name is Craig Burgess, this is Get Doing Things, and this is episode 155. So let's talk about finishing things. I'm still sat at home, by the way, so I am still stuck in my house. Well, not so stuck in my house. Britain has very severely eased the lockdown now, so I can go out, I can do whatever I want, but I'm still working from home until I think tomorrow. I think I'm going back to work tomorrow, which in some instances I can't wait for, to see human life and to interact with people. And in other states, I've enjoyed working from home and getting loads of stuff done for a change. I've got even longer hair. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see my now ridiculous hair. But my hairdresser rang me up yesterday, so it means I'm finally going to get my hair cut. I'm still feeling pretty productive working from home, but I'm looking forward to getting some more human contact. And also, I'm going to be doing these podcasts twice a week from now on, which is an increase from now where I'm kind of doing them sporadically whenever I feel like it. At the minute I'm doing them about once a week, but not quite achieving it. So I'll be back talking to you at least twice a week, which will be nice again. And it'll be nice for me too, because I do enjoy doing these. It's just been a case of me just not really prioritizing them. It's not that I haven't wanted to do them. It's just that I haven't been prioritizing them when I really should have been, because podcasting is what I enjoy doing. So how did this episode come about? So this episode is about finishing things, and my last episode that I did, episode 154, was about starting things. So this is the converse side of it. This is the opposite side of the spectrum, and it is the spectrum that I am notoriously bad at. It's not something that I'm very experienced in. I am very experienced in starting things. I start lots of things. I finish very, very few of them. So I thought it'd be nice to do a flip side, and by the way, thanks Mark for suggesting this, doing a flip side of last episode and saying how to finish things. So we spoke about how to start things. I've got a series of tactics that I follow to try and get things finished. And there's a few of them. I put this out on Twitter as well, and I asked a couple of people to suggest different ideas for this episode. And by the way, my God, it is so warm in my room that I'm recording this in now. It is 28 degrees. And I know I said this last time when I did one of these episodes, how warm it was, but it's still very, very warm. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the tactics for finishing things. So in terms of finishing things, one of the most important things I think to work out first is knowing what kind of person you are. Are you a starter? Are you a finisher? Are you a plodder alongerer? Are you one of those people who are good in the middle of a project to see it through, to actually push the project forward? Are you a good starter? Do you come up with lots of ideas but never implement any of them? Or are you a good finisher? Are you bad at ideas, bad at the middle bit, but good at the detail and getting a project finished? It really helps to know what kind of person you are. And Tim, thank you for reminding me about this. It helps me a lot to know what kind of person I am. I know that I'm a starter, and I'm not so bad at keeping consistent with things. Once I've got them in place, I can keep doing it over and over and over and over for a long period of time, as long as I know that I'm doing it. Effectively, I'm starting something new every day. So I know I'm good at that. But when it comes to designing websites and building websites, I'm not good at the detail. I'm not good at finishing things. I don't enjoy putting a website live. I don't enjoy finding all the bugs. I don't enjoy testing things. I don't enjoy any of the detail. I enjoy all the fun bits. All the fun bits for me is the starting. And I don't enjoy any of the finishing bits. So I have other people around me that are good at that help me with those kind of things, which means that I can still succeed. If I didn't have those people, I would have to put up with being pretty bad and forcing myself at finishing things and pushing through the middle of things when I know that other people are better at it than that are around me. So know what kind of person you are is the number one point. The second thing that I like to think about is not thinking about finishing something. Don't see a thing as ending. Don't see the finish line. If you can, get rid of the finish line. If you're saying, I want to lose, 50 pounds of weight, don't see that as the end goal. Instead, say, I want to lose 50 pounds of weight. I want to lose it by a year's time. Work backwards from that. Think what kind of process you need to be able to achieve that. So it might mean that you need to lose a pound of weight every 2 weeks. And then from there, think, right, all I'm going to do until I feel comfortable is lose a pound every single week and forget about the finish line. Because it's the finish line where things start to break down that I find. When you get to the finish line, you go, well, what do I do next? I've finished. I've completed it. And often when we get to that stage and we complete something, we just stop doing it. And we don't replace it with something else positive. We just stop doing it. So try and think about having no finish line. That's the way I like to think about it. The other thing as well that's slightly connected to it is focusing on the process and not the result. Don't think about ultimately the weight loss. Don't think about that. Don't think about ultimately the goal. Think about the process. The process is the bit that you learn from day after day, day after day, day after day. You learn from doing something constantly, from doing something consistently. That's where I've learned everything that I've done, all the daily projects that I've done, all the various different things that I've done, writing a book by writing a bit of it every day, doing a poster by doing one every day for 365 days, running a mile every day, all of the things. I learn from the process and not from the result. Even though there is a result at the end of it and it's often been positive, the process is the bit that matters the most. It's not the result. And then also, sometimes we can get swept up in this whole perfectionism thing that we worry about the thing that we're making. Is it enough? And often we don't put it over the finish line. We don't finish it because we think it's not good enough. We say to ourselves, I just need to tweak it just a little bit more. I just need to do a little bit more with it. I just need to make this one final tweak. I just need to add this one final feature. I just need to. We just keep saying, I just need to. And the truth is, we just need to launch it. It's better to launch an imperfect product than it is a perfect one, because you can't make a perfect thing anyway. So instead of focusing on something that needs to be perfect, focus on something that's just enough. It's just enough over the finish line. It is quality. You've spent a lot of time on it. You've made it as the best thing you can be, but don't try and make it perfect, because perfection, you just can't achieve it. It's impossible. And then the final thing is commitment. Commitment over finishing. And cheers, Dave, for suggesting this one. It's a little bit like focusing on the process. Make a commitment instead of making a goal or a result. Say to yourself, I'm going to do this thing every day for the next 10 days. I'm going to do this thing every day for the next 50 days. I am going to do this thing for the next 50 days or 100 days or 300 days or 600 days. When you make a commitment instead of making a finish line, it changes something in your mind. That's what I found from doing those daily challenges for 13 years. I found that it changes something in your mind, and I can't quite clarify that any further than that. I'm not a psychologist, but it definitely changes something in your mind and changes the way you feel about it. So to repeat those things, how to finish things or get things finished. Number one, know what kind of person you are. If you're a finisher, good. You can get it finished. If you're a starter, you'll never get it finished. Know that there's no finish line. Forget the finish line and focus on the process rather than the result or the finish line. And then focus, if you do need to get it finished, focus on a product that's enough and not a perfect product that never gets released, because it won't get released because you'll be tweaking over and over. And then finally, commitment over finishing. Commit rather than saying, I want to get to the end. commit every day and renew that commitment every day, and you'll reach the finish line eventually. That was episode 155 of Get Doing Things. My name is Craig, and that's it. I'm done on this episode. By the way, I'm getting a new piece of kit tomorrow, hopefully. I'm really excited about it. It's a Rodecaster Pro, which is going to replace my deck, my mixer that I'm using at the minute, which isn't perfect. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll have seen the middle of the clip where I had to delete something because I messed up this music. So I'm hopefully going to be using that in next episode. It won't make a difference to you, but it'll make a big difference to me. And I'll see you in a couple of days for another episode of Get Doing Things. See you soon.